Hi, my name is Megan, and I will be showing you my project for cartography today. So I did my project on proposing a location of a new fire station in my hometown of Apple Valley. So the layout of my webpage is very simple. It's very clean, just the title, some information explaining my project, and then a nice little logo of my hometown to break up the text block. So if we come down here, we have my first map, and this map is showing it's highlighting areas that are currently well protected by the fire department, and then an area that I identified as being underprotected. So the two most important elements on this map are the outline of previous wildfire locations, which are shown by size, with red being the largest, most severe fires, blue being the smaller ones. And these numbers, they're categorized by acres burned. And I've rounded the data to 1 decimal point because originally the data set had 5 or 6 decimal points worth of data, but I didn't need that much. So I rounded it to keep the legends cleaner and simpler. I've added a gray background to offset the white legend and the light colors of the map to make them stand out more. And then we have the scale bar in miles, sort of the map credits, and then the title up here. I've chosen bright colors to represent the acres and the wildfire locations, and then also bright colors to represent previous present fire station locations shown in stars that are yellow and orange. I've also shown schools and churches because they usually serve as emergency shelters in case of disaster, and I thought that, being a fire, it would probably be useful to have fire stations close to those locations. And so those are in not quite so visible colors or symbols, but they're still large so that they can be easily seen by the viewer. I also have roads shown in a light gray that I've tried to make very small so that they wouldn't interfere with everything else on the map, because those are just minor points of focus. Again, I have sans serif fonts for my titles and serif fonts for the labels, and these are of the same font category, but I've, again, from the typography selection, which covered that sans serifs were better for titles and serif fonts are better for details, either of maps and other projects. So down at my Tableau visualization, I have the same area of the map, but this time I'm showing a combination of wells, population, and where fire stations are. So on this map to the left, we have wells, and the sizes of the dots correspond to the amount of water that's being drawn from them, and their colors correspond to what these wells are being used for. And so over here, this chart sort of compiles that data, and then this chart is also shown on a logarithmic axis, and that's because when I made it a standard axis, everything less than golf course was too small to see. So they are on a logarithmic axis. It is on a logarithmic axis, but I've noted that down here to avoid confusion. And then hovering over each of these bars will show the locations of just the wells of this type. So you can see sort of where different things are happening. You can see industry up here, agriculture over here, this is a river, so to the left of those agriculture sites, that sort of explains it. It's a nice thing to see. And over here we have fire station locations, and then also these blocks down here in different shades of gray correspond to population. And so this is showing that although this top area, this northern part of the city, isn't very densely populated, there are still a decent number of people that live up there. And so it'd be nice to have protection for some of those people, because the southern area is already very well protected. They have lots of fire stations, but the northern area is pretty vulnerable. So my last map is very similar to the first one. It just shows additionally 2 buffer zones. This lighter blue one is areas that are already covered by current fire station locations, and then the green one shows a 4-mile radius around this red dot, the new fire station location, that will gain coverage from the building of this new station. And as you can see, areas of previous wildfires, the Sidewinder and Stoddard and Chicken Fire, will all be covered by this new station, as well as the Apple Valley Airport, which could also have increased fire hazards. So I would add, I think, a valuable safety protection for the community. So again, the map's very similar to the first. And down at the bottom of my screencast, I have some final comments about my project, and then sort of the credits of my website. And I will be embedding this screencast there as well. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my project.